Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. And today we are going to talk about real estate and what's been going on during the pandemic. And today I have a local expert with me. I have a Remix sales representative, Jennifer Bartnik. So, Jen, we thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right. And before we get started, I know that you've been doing real estate for quite a while now, and you work with Team Gorin, actually, and are coming up on almost 10 years now when it comes to your real estate experience. So, just tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about what you do with Team Gorin.
So yes, I have been in the business now for almost 10 years, and I was lucky enough to actually mentor with my previous company's manager prior to me getting my license while I was taking my courses and stuff. So I did, pick up quite a few things in that process. So I mainly focus on residential real estate. That is my specialty. I do commercial and some other avenues, but residential is my specialty. And on Team Gorin, we really focus on staying ahead of the trends and ahead of the market, right? If we're, especially in this very aggressive market, if we're ahead of what's happening, then that is what's helping us be successful in getting our sellers the most money for their properties, as well as being able to help our buyers in this very, very competitive market secure homes for their families.
Right on, right on. Yeah, it's definitely been a very interesting market. Everything has been changing, and we've really been impacted by COVID. So can you, talk about what you've seen shifting in the last year compared to previous years?
So Windsor, Essex County is a very, very unique market. We are still one of the most affordable housing markets. So what we're seeing in the market, the continuous trend is that we don't have enough supply to feed the demand, right? Mm-hmm. So when COVID hit, we all thought, oh my gosh, what is this going to do to our market? It's going to be catastrophic. How are people going to buy homes sight unseen? How are we going to keep everyone, safe? So we really had to, very quickly shift how we're doing things. Number one, to be able to, conduct real estate in a safe manner, to be able to, get people into homes, list homes, and do that in a safe way. So we have a series of protocols in place, screening, personal protective equipment that we have and we're using for all of our buyers and sellers. So we haven't really seen a change in the market. The biggest change that we've seen is we're doing things, for the most part on an average transaction. Normally it would have been, as face-to-face as possible. And now, we're seeing probably about 75% of that transaction would be virtually. So whatever we can do virtually, we're doing. And then, the rest of it would be in person. So, for example, previously we would have went and looked at a house. We would have, stayed there. We would have chit-chatted and, all of that kind of stuff. Now what we're doing is, take a drive by, look at the virtual tour, look at the, Matterport. We're using technology more than we ever have used previously. Once we establish that, this home might be a contender, then at that point in time, we'll book the appointment and go through the property, not touching anything, not staying in the property too long, and kind of just, let's get in, let's look at the bones of the property, let's, get the feeling of the house, and then exit the house and continue our conversation either outside or, connect by a Zoom meeting.
I can really appreciate that process. It seems very thought through, and yeah, I'm sure that's really helpful for homeowners, especially now. Personally, from your perspective, what do you think is the biggest challenge you're seeing in the market right now?
The biggest challenge we're seeing is really the inventory. We right now, I think there's only approximately just over 300 homes, except for, new builds, but new builds aside, there's only about 300 homes for sale, just over in all of Windsor and Essex County, right? So I think there's approximately 1,300 realtors in Windsor, Essex County, plus, we're dealing with the Toronto, realtors and other outside realtors from Windsor, Essex County coming in with their clients. And there's just not enough inventory to supply the local buyers, let alone outside buyers as well.
Okay, so with the lack of inventory, like what do you see on the horizon for homeowners that are maybe looking to buy or sell? Like what should people be looking forward to as we start to loosen up on the restrictions? Right, we were in lockdown and now we're in red. Do you think that there'll be any changes moving forward?
Um, no, not I don't really see that there's going to be much changes because again, I mean, the fact of the matter is COVID's here. It's unfortunately seems as though it's here to stay. We've been dealing with this for over a year now. And we've had to really change in every industry. I think every job that everyone's in, everyone's had to change the way they do things, right? They've had to change the way they live. They have to change the way they do business. So, I mean, essentially, we've really changed the way that we're doing business, and we've really changed the way, we're helping clients be able to, sell their homes and to be able to purchase a home, right? I mean, the hope is that the interest rates remain low, and as they loosen restrictions, it may make some more people comfortable to be listing their properties. But for us, we're really handling everybody on an individual basis. So I would really encourage, if anybody has, the thought that they may be thinking about buying and selling, get on the phone with a realtor that is experienced in selling in this market. Anybody on Team Gorn, is very experienced in selling in this market. And have a consultation. There's no fee, there's no obligation, just to have a consultation and have your questions answered. I find a lot of times if I can get on the phone or get in a Zoom interview with somebody and just talk them through it, a lot of times we can answer a lot of questions, solve any misconceptions that there might have been, because there are a lot of misconceptions out there about how things are, and can I get a house, can I sell a house, can I do this safely? So I would strongly suggest just have the talk, and then make a plan moving forward of, is now the time, or do I wait, right?
Yeah, I think it's really good to have those conversations. That way, people kind of understand whether or not they should sell their home or whether or not it's a good time to buy. So thank you, for sharing all of this. If people are looking to have that conversation, how might people get in touch with you? How would they reach out to you if they had that opportunity?
So they can contact me direct at 519-562-8473, or by email at jennifer@teamgoran.com, or they can simply reach out to my office, Team Goran, and either myself or many of our experienced agents would be able to help them through that process.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, and we really appreciate having you on here. And yeah, just thank you for your time.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you for having me.